Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another episode. And this one, I said I'd do it, so I'm gonna do it. We have weapons and we're gonna put them in and it's gonna be cool and stuff's gonna be awesome. But before we do that, let's hop into our bro dude and make sure some stuff is proper. If you didn't check this last time, we're going to want to parent the camera to the mesh, and the camera will have a 0 location across the board and a 90 rotation on the z-axis. Parent it to the head, and some of those locations might get messed up again, but make sure everything looks like this and when it's parented to the head, and use pawn control rotation should be checked. So that's all good. Now, I wanted to show you guys the model first. It looks beautiful. It is completely free. I'm going to put the link in the description. I'm not going to put this link to this web page, but I will give credit to the artist, Chamferzone, I guess. Thanks for making this pretty cool and stuff. So, I already imported it in because I had to get everything working, but it's super easy. Once you download it, it's called wpn.akm. That's the normal file, but I called it wpn.akm fixed. When you import it in and you drag it in, make sure you import it as a skeleton. Don't mess with any of the other settings unless your defaults are weird, but make sure you import all of the good stuff and just press import, not import all. I think that does make a difference. But when you open it up, it's going to be super small. You're not even going to see it. It's going to be one of the camera is going to put you what looks like, geez, I can't even do it. It's going to put you like at the ground like this. You're not going to see anything. Like when you look down and you back up, you're probably not even going to see your model. But just go to skeleton, select wpn.akm, and then select E, which is R, which is the default for scaling, and select that middle thing and keep dragging it out. So just drag it out, up, not down. Up, not down. So once you've got it to a good size, I know you're like, oh man, those textures are ugly and everything, but don't worry about that. We're going to fix that problem. We're going to leave it on here because of the textures, but I'm going to go back into player stuff. Oh, I also created a new folder called weapons to put that in, and it comes with some textures. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to drag them right on in here. Let's open this up. I want to save this, save the skeleton, so that way that's what it'll actually look like and it'll stay that way. So go back over to mesh, and we don't want it to stay that. We want it to be, let's see, we may have to convert these over to materials, but this is the base color, so take that and drag that. Well, crud. See, there's the issue. So we are going to have to create a material. So make a new material. AKM base. Open it up, and all you need is just to drag in this texture. It'll put it in there just fine, and then put over the base color, I believe. That looks about right. And save that. You can mess around with some of the settings if you want, but I'm personally not gonna. I mean, we could make this texture look really beautiful if I mess around with it, but I'm not going to because I'm not good with materials, and that is not my forte, even though I would like to get good at it. Let's go to AKM. There we go, AKM base. Whoa. Just got to compile the shaders, so you can see how low poly the model is here. It's not the most glamorous thing, to be honest. It is definitely not a high-end material, but the material may take a while to initialize and set itself in so where it looks proper. So let that set or whatever, because for me it takes a while to quote unquote render and look proper after everything's said and done. There we go. Now it looks good. So obviously it looked way better on the thing, but that's purely because they had shaders and stuff, and they probably set up the specular and had better settings on this. But it's fine. We still have a good looking AK-47 that we get to goof around with and set up our iron sights too. So go over here and add this is going to be a visual component. We'll make the blueprint for the gun in the next episode. But I always add this visual component. Add a skeletal mesh and call it gun. Parent it to the mesh and to the left or right hand. Sorry, hand R. Excuse me. So now we can make it this. And obviously it's not that big because remember it was a very small model and everything, so you're gonna have to scale it up, but that's not that big a deal. They have scaling tools everywhere. So obviously this animation is not made for this gun, and vice versa, this gun is not made for this rig and or animation, but we can make it look pretty, and it won't be too ugly. So just set it up how it looks, what looks good to you, obviously. And it looks like he's holding it pretty good. So yeah, that looks pretty good, and that should stay, of course, attached to that, to the hand, I mean, and everything else should be fine. So when we play, we've got a good AK-47. Obviously, we can't shoot, we can't aim, we can't do any of that jazz, and the camera's a little off because, I mean, not many FPS games, I feel like, have a gun at that angle unless they're kind of low quality. So next episode we'll get we won't mess around with the camera stuff. You guys can do that on your free time. I'll do that on my free time outside of recordings because that's not really necessarily what you need. But if you guys if you guys like the way my camera's set up in the next episode, you can comment for the location values and whatever I do to it, and I'll comment them to you, but I won't show you how you do it. So next episode, we're gonna fire this awesome AK-47. We're not gonna do muzzle flashes quite yet, but we will get into shooting, and each episode will be something important. Some will be combinations. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for more episodes.